So hi out there in Floss Tube Land. This is Tina Frazier coming to you from Columbus, Ohio. Today is Wednesday, February. I don't know what date it is. Today is Wednesday. Let me check my handy dandy phone. It's February the 12th at approximately 9:50 p.m. Eastern Time. And I'm coming to you today with another Floss Tube Interlude video featuring the EZ Stitch tape system for basting your fabric onto your wooden scroll rods. You remember from my first interlude video, I had this scroll frame right here that I added this Velcro basting tape to for a piece that I kind of wanted to work on for one of my Facebook stitching group challenges. I am in the Whip Go, which is Whip in Progress Go. It's like bingo for your works in progress. And I have this piece here that I had started back in 2002. It's this gold collection Jewels of the Orient kit right here. This is just a picture on eBay right now of a kit, but I am actually using the floss that came with the kit, but I did swap the Ada fabric out. I'm using this fabric here. My piece is rolled up right now because I'm going to be adding, in this video, I'm going to be adding the EZ Stitch tape for fabric that you see here to the edges of my piece so I can attach my fabric to my scroll rods. And as I'm looking at this, these scroll rods aren't going to be big enough for my this scroll frame as I had hoped. So that means that I'm actually going to have to use my bigger scroll rods. So once I'm done with this video of showing you how to attach the fabric to or the fabric tape to a piece of fabric for stitching, I'm going to have to go and do my other scroll rods for my other scroll frame so I can mount it to that, because as you can see here, this I'm not going to be able to get this all in the video, but my fabric is bigger than the scroll frame. So you can see, there we go, get it kind of in the frame. You can see here that the fabric is actually wider than my scroll frame that I have here. So I'm actually going to have to use my wider scroll frame rods and scroll frame for this this piece, unfortunately. But that's okay, because I do have another set. But anyway, I kind of wanted to come to you today with the kind of part two of preparing your fabric with the EZ Baste or the EZ Stitch No Baste Velcro bastings or Velcro scroll frame system. So you can easily attach and detach your cross stitch projects or needlepoint projects or whatever projects you use your scroll frames for, to go ahead and get them in on your working surface. Okay, I'm just going to put that down here for a minute. So anyway, I am working on this James Hemsworth Gold Collection kit. I've had this kit for quite a while. I started this. Let me dig out my pattern. So I have it kitted up. I took the floss colors for this kit, and I just put them in floss baggies. And I used the numbers from the kit down here. You can't really see them because they've faded over time, but I've used the color numbers for on the from the actual pattern itself for the colors for this. I did start this. So here is my pattern. I don't think I have the Gold Collection bag that this came in, but as you can see, this is the Gold Collection Jewels of the Orient, and it's the two ladies in the kimono. And so this is the pattern with the floss colors and everything. So I use these floss color codes, which are not DMC codes, but I use these floss color codes for the bags so I can follow along. And as you can see here, there's a little bit of the things. The faces are stitched. They're over 2. And I'm, because of the way that I like to do faces, I'm actually going to stitch these faces over 1. I started this piece. I don't know if you're going to be able to see, but I started this piece March 2nd of 2002. So this is kind of one of my older whips. And let me go ahead and move this off to the side. Reach behind me. So here is where I'm at. You can see I'm kind of worked in the middle. I'm not really sure at this point in time if this is the top or this is the top, but I am working on take this back actually. Get it back on for you. So you can see, so it looks like this would be the top. Maybe. Yep. Yep. So this is going to be the top up here. So it would go like this. So if you see here, let me put this over here. So if you see here, I actually have part of her kimono from here, this gray section, and then I'm starting to work on the pink on the part of the bow up here. So you can see that that's kind of where I'm at. I've captured a little bit of the yellow and the folds in her kimono sleeve. Out here, that's what this is. So that would be right down in here in this area. So I am actually working on this kimono right in there. So this is where I've gotten since 2002. I haven't worked on it in a few years. But anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to be attaching the EZ Stitch tape to the bottom and the top because I'm going to be rolling it from top to bottom on my scroll frame and working in the middle. I did start this in the middle of the fabric. I did swap out the fabric. It came with a piece of white Aida, and at the time I started this, I wasn't stitching on Aida anymore. The Jewels of the Orient pattern is 11 by 17 or 28 by 43 centimeters, and it's a design by James Hemsworth, but it's the gold collection by Dimensions. So, that being said, I'm going to go ahead and show you now how to attach the EZ Stitch tape, which is right here, the EZ Stitch tape to your cross stitch fabric. And this is what the tape looks like. Now remember, this tape is actually less, it's more narrow than the tape that you would use for the score rods. So basically, this is has a sticky side, and this is the Velcro right here that will attach itself to the scroll rod. So let me get set up momentarily, get a couple of things out of my way, and I will proceed to work on attaching the tape to my fabric. So I'm actually going to work on this end. So the videos that I watched for this basically states that you want to take your fabric here and you want to make sure that the edge is nice and straight. So basically, if you have any of those straggler pieces of threads for linen, like if right here, and you see how these threads have kind of come a little loose, you might want to pull those off. I actually just cut those tonight, so I know they're okay. But you want a real nice straight edge to put your tape up against. So they recommend that you stop the fraying, you cut off some extra little loose ends that you may have, and create your basically your straight edge for getting the tape attached to your fabric, because you want to follow that edge, and so your fabric, when you attach the tape to your scroll rod, that it produces even tension when you roll your fabric up. So that being said, I went ahead and I already did my even edge. I cut the edges off and cut all the extra little pieces out. so I would have a nice straight edge. So basically, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to get a general idea by laying this out across my fabric before I take the sticky part, the clear part off of the backing of my thing. I'm going to run this the width of my fabric so I can get an idea of how much I'm actually going to cut. And it looks like I'm going to cut about right to here. So you can see I kind of just stretched it along the bottom of my piece widthwise. And that's about my cutting spot right there where my thumb is on this hand here. So you don't need to be terribly exact. The one thing about this system, if you're going to buy this Velcro tape system, you do need to buy both pieces. You need both the scroll rod part and you need the fabric part. And the reason is because the scroll rod part has the stuff that it sticks to, and the stuff you put on the fabric is the stuff that will stick to your scroll rod. So it's like it's a Velcro system. If you see here, it has the Velcro thing on it. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that or not, but it has the Velcro brand sticky tape or hook and loop system that they're using for this. So now that I have my piece, my first piece of the fabric portion of the tape system, I'm going to go ahead and pull off the clear strip, so you can see it pulls off, and it leaves you with the really sticky back that you're going to stick to your fabric. Now, the one thing about this that you kind of want to make sure of, I'm the type of person that I like to work in the well, which means I like the back of my piece to be kind of on the outside. Some people like the back of their piece to be more on the inside. So depending on how you like to roll your scroll rods and your fabric on your scroll rods will determine what side of the end of your fabric that you will place this on. So because of the way that I like to do it, if you can see here, this is the top of my stitching. So these are the top, this is the top. So I'm actually going to place the sticky tape here. So when I attach it to my scroll rod and I roll it, it's going to roll up this way. So the back of my fabric is basically to the outside of the scroll rod. And so I'm not touching the top of my fabric whenever it's resting on me. So the top of my fabric will actually be protected by the scroll rods because the top of my fabric will be rolled up. That's just the way that I like to do my projects. So that being said, here we have the sticky tape. And as you can see, as you can see, it's pretty sticky. You can hear it. Yeah, it's pretty sticky. So it'll stick pretty permanently to your fabric. So when you're doing this, you want to make sure that you have enough extra fabric at the ends that you're going to attach your tape to, so you can cut the tape off at the end, because you're not going to be able to pull the tape off because it's really sticky and it adheres pretty permanently to your fabric. So what you want to do is you want to kind of start at one end and kind of slowly and very carefully apply your fabric tape in as straight of a line on your fabric as you can. So I'm just kind of following the one of the threads in the fabric to get this as straight as I can on my piece of cross stitch fabric. And I'm actually kind of going along one of the threads on the fabric. And again, because this is more of a permanent fix, you kind of want to be careful when you're doing this to get it as straight as possible. But also the reason why you want it straight on your fabric is because when you when you place it on your scroll rods, you're going to want to create that even tension across your stitching piece. So as you can see, I'm just kind of running the along the edge, following one of the threads in the actual fabric. Now you can see here that I have a little extra on the end. I don't know that I'm going to necessarily worry about that, but I am going to press this down a lot to get it to stick. Okay. Now, if I was really worried about this extra little space here and the tension being off, because it's at the edge of the fabric, most of my stitching is going to happen like over here. Most of my stitching will happen over here. And I'm not so worried about the edges of my fabric not being real tight. If my stitching was going to go closer to the end, I might be a little more concerned about this little extra bit of fabric that's not attached. But at this point in time, I'm not really going to worry about it. So I got this pretty much as even across as I can. So now I'm going to flip my piece and do the same to the other side. Now again, this is the top of my stitching, and because I'm going to be rolling this on my scroll frame this way, so it rolls up this way, and they stitch down in the well, I am going to put the tape on this edge. Now the reason why I know this is actually the top of my piece now, looking at it, because when you look at this fabric, you can see the selvage edge. I always try and keep my selvage edge on my cross stitch fabric, if I get any, at the top of my piece. It's either going to be the top of my piece or the left hand side. That way I know pretty much all the time how the direction of my piece is facing. So this is a selvage edge, so this is actually going to be the top of my cross stitch piece. And what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to place my next strip of tape right up against the selvage edge. I'm not going to put it on the selvage edge. Well, I might put it on the selvage edge because that's going to be cut off anyway. Yeah, I'll probably just put it right on the selvage edge because that's pretty straight across anyway. So anyway, what I'm going to do again is I'm going to stretch this across my fabric. Now I could have taken the other piece of tape that I cut and cut a second piece of tape that same length. But I just kind of wanted to show you that I am just stretching this clear across, and once again getting a general estimate of where I need to cut. And my cut will be right there. So now I'm done with my tape. You can see I have plenty more tape for other projects. Okay. And I shall pull the plastic off the adhesive back. That off to the side. And yes, it is really sticky. So then I can bring this down and stick it. So I'm going to actually kind of stick it to the selvage edge. Because I know the selvage edge is basically straight. I'm just going to kind of follow along the selvage edge here and attach the tape to my fabric. There is a little bit of play in the tape when you put it up against your fabric. You do have a tiny bit of play with where it might stick initially, but as time goes on, it's going to create a more permanent bond with your fabric, which is why you're not going to be able to reuse the same tape from piece of fabric to piece of fabric. Which is why when you order some, you need to order enough of the fabric tape to handle all of your pieces that you want to use this system on to attach to your scroll rods. I don't think this system would work on Q-snaps. So again, this piece of tape is just slightly smaller than the piece of fabric. But again, since my stitching isn't going all the way across, I'm not so worried about that. So basically what I'm going to do is just kind of press this down all the way across to make sure there's a good You're not going to be able to feel the tackiness on the reverse side. So you have the tape here, and then it's on the back as well. The one nice thing about this is, though, this will help keep those edges that you've taped it to from fraying as well, because the bond with the fabric is pretty strong. So now I've got, as you can see, I have both edges taped. So both of my edges of the fabric are taped. So to demonstrate, I will pop out, let me pop out one of these rods just to kind of demonstrate how you would attach this to a scroll rod that has the tape system already. So here is my scroll rod that already has the second part attached. It's this kind of fuzzy stuff right there. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to take your, now you can do this one of two ways. You can take your scroll rod, with your basting system and just kind of roll it up against your thing. And you see how it's now grabbing your fabric? You see how it's now grabbing your fabric? So then, you know, when you go to roll it up, you have a nice tight, so now you can roll it up on your scroll frame. And to take it off, all you got to do is release the edges. But see, your the tape sticks to the scroll rod, and the tape will stick to your cross stitch fabric. And then, you know, it's real easy to pop on and off. So again, how you would do that is, you know, depending on your scroll rods that you're using, one of the easier ways would probably be to lay it down flat like this, and to take your scroll rod basting tape here that's on your scroll rod, and just kind of maybe roll it and then press it down. And there you go. It is now attached. See how it's kind of rolling up? There you go. And then so like when you roll up your scroll rod, there you go. You've got your fabric based on your scroll rod. And then to remove it, all you do is lift it. You would lift it off the scroll. There you go. And there you have it. So what I'm going to do is actually give me a little bit of time. I'm going to take the two scroll rods that I have in the other room. I'm going to attach the tape to that, and I will be back and kind of show you how I'm going to attach, how I'm going to get this on my scroll frame. But there you have it. There's attaching the EZ Stitch tape to your cross stitch fabric. Hopefully you get something out of this. So in another couple minutes, I will be right back. As soon as I get the tape for the scroll rods onto my other scroll rods, so I can show you putting this project in the frames. All right, I'll be back after a bit. So hi again, I'm just getting ready to attach the scroll rod part of the EZ Stitch tape system to my two scroll rod pieces here. So this first one has a little indentation in it. I don't know if you're going to be able to see the indentation. So that indentation right there, right here, is where another small dowel rod would go in. Normally you would lay your fabric over it, press a small dowel rod into it, and roll it up. And I just lost that. And you would roll your fabric around the little dowel rod. The fabric would lock the tiny dowel rod into the channel, and then your piece would be ready to stitch. Well, I liked this type of scroll frame, or scroll rod system until the little scroll rod would come loose and pop out, and then you'd lose all your tension in your fabric as you were working. So I stopped using that, and I was doing something else. So Now that I have this basting tape, I'm actually going to convert this to the basting tape. What I'm going to do is run the tape kind of along the edge of the channel because it's essentially a straight line. So I'm going to take my tape here and peel the clear backing off and fasten the tape to this. And this is pretty strong. All right. And as you can see, I begin a little bit short with the basting tape, with the tape on the edge of the scroll rod right here. So I'm going to cut another little piece to attach right there. And I put it away. So I will get another little piece out and measure for a minute and cut that much. To attach to the end of the scroll frame. And there you have it. So I've done that one. I'm going to go ahead and do the other one. So you can see that this is another dowel rod of the same length. They're both the same length. And I did just check these up against my cross stitch project, and it works really. They're pretty much the exact size that I need for the project. So let me go ahead and get this other one attached for you that I've cut, and I will be right back. You saw this process before. I'm just kind of peeling the plastic off. And I'm gonna find that looks good to me. Just kind of eyeball the and as you can see again, I have a little bit left here, so I'm going to cut another little snippet to make sure that my entire scroll rod surface is covered. I have this covered up, and we are ready to go. Go ahead and put this stuff away. Okay, get my scissors out of the way. And as I showed you before, okay, so apparently my video cut out on me as I had gotten all of this on the scroll frame already, and I didn't realize that it had cut out on me. So I had taken this side off. I've got this side pretty much on the scroll frame, and I'm going to show you how I would go about doing this. So basically, I'm just going to take the edge of my fabric and stick it right to, essentially right to the scroll frame here. So basically, I'm just going to kind of stick it straight across the scroll rod to adhere it to the scroll rod. I'm going to press it down, and then it's pretty nice and straight. I have a pretty nice and straight edge. So then I'm just going to take my scroll rod and roll it up across the Basically, I'm just rolling the scroll rod so the fabric, I can center my working area. This is going to be my working area in the scroll frame rods. So basically, all I'm doing is just trying to get a nice tension built up on my my fabric. So, all right, I can tighten this up now. Tighten this up. Pull it a little tighter, and then tighten this side up. I have a wooden wing nut chuck that would make this process a little easier to do. And I'm just trying to make sure that my chucks are straight. And then basically just give it another little tug here to get this to lay tight. All right. So there you have it. I have it in my frame, and the nice thing is you can pull this on and off, and I have even tension pretty much all the way across the working surface. So now my piece is in my scroll frame using the No Baste tape system, and it's ready to be worked on. So I hope you enjoyed my video. That's what I have for you. In order to take it off, basically all you would do, I'll go ahead and show this to you again. So basically all you would do is you would loosen up your scroll rods, the tension on your scroll rods, and basically you would unroll your fabric like this. Yep, you would unroll your fabric till you get to the tape, and basically you just lift it up and pull it off of your scroll rods. And it's just as easy as that. So you have your fabric tape, your tape on your scroll rod, and then you have the tape on your fabric as well. So there you have it. That's the EZ Stitch No Baste tape system for attaching your cross stitch fabric to your scroll rods. I hope, again, I hope you really enjoy this video. I hope you've gotten something out of it. I am hopefully going to be able to go put a few stitches in on this tonight since it's part of Whip Go and I haven't started it yet for a long time. I haven't worked on this since probably the very early 2000s. So again, I hope you enjoyed my video. I'm just going to wrap up with you tonight. And anyway, thank you for watching and subscribing. I really appreciate your comments, your likes, your dislikes, anything like that, any feedback you can give me. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. I appreciate all of my current subscribers. Be sure to leave your comments and questions below. I will do my best to answer them. And I appreciate you visiting my channel. So just kind of let me know, give me some feedback, let me know what you think. Let me know if you use this system for your scroll rods. I'm looking forward to utilizing this more going forward. And just let me know what you think. All right? Well, that's all I have for you tonight. Take care. Keep on keeping on. That's all we can do. I have more moving and more packing in my future. Also, our friend just told my husband that he put the he has indeed finished the first coat of polyurethane on the hardwood floors in the bedrooms. So hopefully this next weekend we will be going over to the house to lay the rest of the flooring in the house and everything like that. So again, I don't know what my stitchy plans are going to be the next couple of weeks, what my video plans are going to be, but I may come to you in a new location. I may not. It just really depends on our time frame. So I hope you like this video. And again, Until next time, keep on keeping on because that's all we can do. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye.